Shalom, sweet people. I am Maker Strong. My Maker makes me strong. And I came to you guys today from home. But I was just in Jalisco, and this picture, I don't know why, it just makes me think of Jalisco. So I'm still in that Jalisco vibe. So that's my background. I'm probably going to be popping in and out of the screen. It's not doing it now, but it was before. So if I disappear sometimes, that's because I don't have a green screen. So we'll work with what we have. And I do have lots of pictures and videos from our trip. You guys know that we got stuck in Jalisco an extra couple of days. And in those couple of days, we met the soccer players from Veracruz. So that was like an awesome little icing on the cake. Anyways, give me some time to put that video together because I am not a professional video editor. So, yeah, it'll take me a little bit to put it all together for you, but I'm sure it will be very nice once I'm done. Just be a little patient with me, please. All right. So, one of the things that I wanted to talk about in this celibacy is easy installment is I want to talk to you guys about embracing your triggers. Now, one of the things that I've been kind of harping on, I guess, is all this shadow work that needs to be done. Okay. True enough, we do need to do our shadow work. And what usually happens when you are doing that is things will come to light, things about yourself that may be very negative, and you did not look at it. So it keeps passing you by. And what happens is you will get triggered by certain things. And if you're like me, the block queen, I told you guys, I block better than Jackie Chan. Somebody comes at me with nonsense, block, 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 right? But I was so wrong for feeling like that was the way to handle being triggered because all it's doing is avoiding the inevitable. And what I mean by that is, in order to be the best me, or in order to be the best you, you are going to have to heal from the things that hurt you. You're going to have to heal. Covering it up with a band-aid or blocking it off, it's only a temporary solution to a long-term problem. So the only way to really heal is to deal with it. So what I used to do, and I'd say used to because I have a new way of looking at things now. And of course, that does help whenever you change scenery, you go somewhere different, you do something out of your routine, you pick up new information. And that's why you guys should, if you can at all, break up your routine from time to time so you can get new insights. But I was so wrong, and I'm sorry for giving you guys that information. Like, we'll just block somebody off if they come at you with nonsense, because although we don't want to deal with people with nonsense, we can see that they haven't healed. Let's say they're a narcissist and they're doing narcissistic things. If you are vibing high enough, they're not going to be able to affect you anyway. And they are the ones who will most likely leave because they can't affect you. So, you know what I did? I unblocked some people that I had blocked. Not because, yes, I want them in my life or whatever, but because I realized that there is something that I have to learn from them, from dealing with their energy, their low, negative, whatever kind of energy it is. There's something that I need to learn. And if I don't deal with it, learning it from them, I'm just going to end up having to learn it from somebody else. And the good thing is, at least I've already gone some distance with them. I already know what vibe they're on. Now, of course, maybe they changed, right? Nah, they haven't. I unblocked these people and I reached out. And as I've been talking to these people that I originally blocked, I'm learning that they are still, for the most part, operating the same way they were when I blocked them, with the exception of one. And even he's kind of acting, he's maybe leveled up like one more inch, but other than that, he's still kind of being the same way that it's a very off-putting vibe that he puts out there. It's like you don't really want that in your energy, which is why I blocked him. But the lesson that I need to learn for me is, how do I move around that energy without allowing it to affect me? Being an empath is kind of, it's one of those things where you can get into the toxic energy of trying to save everybody. And you give everybody the benefit of the doubt, which is why people use you and blah, blah, blah. But they can't use you if you don't allow them to use you. And just them being in your energy, in your space, doesn't make them use you. Only you can allow somebody to use you. What I would suggest is what I did. I unblocked these people, okay? And what I'm realizing is that they are operating on that same frequency where I left them at last year, the year before that, or whatever, when I blocked them. But what I've noticed about myself is, since I don't have any expectation of them, I don't expect it to be better. I don't expect it to be worse, but I don't expect it to be better. I have no expectation at all. I'm just saying, hey, I'm sorry I blocked you. If you want access to me, you want to talk to me, you're feel free. Feel free. So the guy that was breadcrumbing me, he's still breadcrumbing. But I shouldn't even call it breadcrumbing, because the only reason you would feel like somebody is breadcrumbing you is if you wanted something with them and they're only giving you sprinkles. They're giving you breadcrumbs. But since I don't want anything with this guy, if he pops in and pops out of my life by saying hi, love bombing, and then leaving, which is what normally you would call breadcrumbing, it doesn't affect me. I don't want anything with him, but I don't want to run away from whatever lesson I need to learn. And I think I already learned the lesson. I think that was the lesson, that I needed to not run away. I needed to face it head on, call out the BS when I see it, and he will be the one to flake off. He will be the one to be like, oh, she's not being, affected by my love bombing. She's not giving me that same energy back, but she wanted me to talk to her again. It's probably confusing to him. But I need to learn what I need to learn from him. And hopefully he's learning something from me, because he's probably confused right now. But once he flakes off, right, and once time gets a hold of him, he's probably going to realize, huh, So all of that stuff that I did meant that she wasn't moved by all of my player games. So you mean my player games don't work on everybody? It didn't work on Maker. Huh. So you mean people might want to be in my life and it's not romantic? You mean a woman could actually just maybe want friendship without it having something to do with sex? Huh. And all of these epiphanies, right, as they're coming to him, they're leveling him up little by little by little. And that means that I would have done what I needed to do in his energy, and he would have done what he needed to do in my energy, and without me running away. Now, if he decides to flake off, it is his, if he decides I'm too high vibrational for him, it is what it is. But I don't have to sit with the guilt of that I blocked him off. And that's the one thing that I think I was definitely having to process within myself is that um, conflict comes and I escape. Well, not anymore, because I realize all of these things that are happening are supposed to be preparing me to be my best me. And it's not going to go away. It's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever worked in a place and it was just such a rude environment, let's say. You work there and people are being nasty for no reason, and you're just wondering, why is it like this? And you get to the point where you're like, I'm going to quit this job. I'm looking for another job. And then you get another job and you're like, I'm out of here. Bye, losers. But then you go to the next job you thought was going to be a lot better and you run into that same energy. It's so that you can learn how to handle it. It's so that you can learn how to move around that energy, how to navigate the energy and keep moving up. So, number one, I am so sorry. I advised you guys to block people, but that's where my energy was at the time. If you are vibrating high, you don't need to protect your own energy. Your vibration will create a bubble around you. And anybody vibrating lower than you will not be able to keep up. They will not be able to affect you anyway. So whether they sweet talk you or whether they make you try to make you pity them, I always seem to get the people that in my life that they just need a little something from me because they just can't work it out on their own. I will give because I'm a giver, but I will only give what I'm willing to give. If I'm not willing to give it, they won't be able to extract it from me. They can have pity party. They can talk about how miserable their lives are and how if only I would do. It's not my problem. Really and truly, I'm not trying to be ugly. It's really not my problem. I have my own things that I need to process, and so do they. But I realize that there's a reason that the two of us met. There's something the two of us need to learn from the experience of being around each other. And maybe that person, if they're very low vibrational, it's going to be too much for them and they'll be the one that leaves. But avoidance is toxic. That's what I was doing. I was avoiding. Okay. So I'm changing that now and letting you guys know avoidance is not a long-term solution. Okay? You need to see the trigger, realize that it's a trigger, and figure out the best way to face that demon head on. Fight it, become victorious, and move on. Hopefully, you'll be helping the other person as well. Because, like I said, we're all connected, all of us. We need everybody to be vibrating high. That's why the world is in the trouble that it's in, because we have too many low vibrational people in charge, and people who are just following media, following trends, worried about the wrong things. Okay? We need everybody, even the people that you would rather not deal with. Now, if they're dangerous to you, okay, stay away from them. Okay, if you have a restraining order against them, stay away from them. But as far as people that are not necessarily dangerous, they're just annoying or whatever in your energy, figure out why they're annoying. What is that? How can you help them not be annoying? Maybe you can't, but as long as you are offering love in the sense of, I love you enough to want you to be your best. Some people are not ready for that. Some people are only, I'm saying men, these are men that I talk to. That man is not looking for me to love him in that way. That man is looking for some sex, even though they all know I'm celibate, but they're looking for sex. What can I say? They're not getting it here. So, like, all I can do is offer them what I can't offer them. And that is to love them enough to want to see them, whatever they need to gain from being in my energy, I will let them have it. If it helps them to vibrate high, if it elevates their frequency, I know it's elevating mine. I know it's balancing out energy. I'm doing my part, and I will be rewarded. So it's like, that's where I'm at now. So that's what I'm saying. I'm very sorry that I kind of tried to tell you guys that avoidance was the way to go. It is not the way to go. You need to face problems head on with love. That is the highest frequency of all. And if you are operating out of love, none of their shenanigans, none of their tricks, none of their love bombing, none of their trying to manipulate you, it's not going to work anyway. And you can just smile and be like, all right, then, thank you. Offer them that care of the Most High. And most likely, if they're vibrating real low, they're gonna leave, because they want somebody basic. They want somebody they can affect. If they're not affecting you, they will go on their merry way. So anyway, as far as the videos and stuff, I did my cash drawing giveaway, and it was awesome to do that. And so what I'm gonna do going forward is I will give you guys something to put in the chat, answer a question or something like that. And when I do my drawing, it'll be based on people who answered the question in the chat. So the question for today is, what's your trigger, and how do you intend to face it? How do you intend to face that trigger and is instead of avoiding it? So that's my question for you guys. So anybody who actually answers the question in the chat, the way, what is the trigger? It's two actual things. What is the trigger? And how do you intend to face it? Okay. Yeah. So if you are communicating with me that way, we can we'll see if I pull your name. That's when I'm going to do the next drawing in April. So meanwhile, I'm gonna say shalom, wishing you all the best.